I want to play a clip for you. This is more lighthearted, but it got me giggling, and so I want to share it with you. Before playing it, Midas Touch's response was very on point, saying, "What does this mean? What are they so mad about?" So those are the questions we're going to try to answer as we observe Harris Faulkner, who apparently is upset by something in this 18-second clip, and we'll see if we can derive what it is that she's upset about. Here we go.
And I got to tell you, if they become the majority, we're in trouble. I mean, do you want people whose motto is
"The world is ending"? And that's why you need to buy my emergency preparedness kit for your bunker. No, of course not. But that's the message that people like Alex Jones deliver to get their followers to buy hundreds of millions of dollars worth of junk at their store and pills for all sorts of things. I don't do that. Main way you can support the work that we're doing is free, and it's just clicking that subscribe button. If you haven't done it already, make it happen.
and they took this right out of the 50s and 60s, battle by day, love at night, which needs birth control and dental dams and food. Remember and I got to...
What is she talking about? I'll give you the context in a second, but do you want people whose motto is battle by day, love at night, which means birth control and dental dams and food? I don't know, Harris. This is a strategic thing. I don't know if coming out against birth, I'll just say against sex, is the right political stance, right? I think there's a very strong pro-sex lobby in this country. But you think big oil is influential? You think big pharma is influential? Just wait until you have to deal with big sex, because people want their sex, and so I don't know about that as a strategy. And then also battle by day, love at night. That's awesome. Can we put that on a shirt? That sounds just fantastic. Now, what this is coming from, I guess, I was trying to look into what the heck was being referred to. The Washington Post reports Democratic efforts to lure young voters include beer and birth control. Hey there, youthful voter. Are you already over the presidential election? Do the grandfathers? Don't ever say, hey there, youthful voter. You lost the vote if you say that. Let's see if we can skip forward. Essentially, a group of Democratic donors thinks it may have found a cure for what ails you. Never mind the donors' own freak out by the widespread youth malaise, given President Biden's struggles in the polls. And then essentially, it's some Democratic donors thinking of ways to put together in certain swing states events that are more exciting, more youthful, get the youths out to hang out, and could potentially create an environment that is more enjoyable than just a typical political rally. They want to make politics look different in the 7 or so states that will decide the presidency, like a dance party, a comedy show, or a place to chill out. Sometimes there'll be free beer, manicures, boot shines, a rent check sweepstakes, a handout of contraceptive pills, or cooling towels. All you have to do is show up. Like it's Super Bowl Sunday and belong to something bigger. Oh, and someone might mention voting at some point. No one throws more simultaneous parties than we do, this individual said of this group. I don't see what the controversy is here. You have some Democrats who want to invest in trying to create more fun environments and then casually bring up voting. Yeah, that's called voter outreach, baby. But apparently, this is embodying the battle by day, sex at night. I mean, love at night, and that's not what Harris Faulkner is okay with. Now, someone who might be okay with this is President Joe Biden, and this is, I don't know, this segment is just going off the rails. But colleague Jack asked that I include this, so don't blame me if you find it strange. But Reuters reports President Joe Biden has joked to aides that the key to a long and lasting marriage is good sex, according to a new book about First Lady Joe Biden that casts a spotlight on their 47-year romance. That was quite the remark from old Uncle Joe. Here is more from this same edition of Fox News.
How does that work? Do you want a dance party or do you want to go live in your parents' basement? Like, finesse the language, but home ownership, the American dream, that's what these young people want more than a free beer.
It's so aggravating. And this is where we get into now the substance. I lured you with a talk of sex. Now we talk about policy, okay? They here are trying to disparage the idea of these Democrats, which I'm just learning of this now, so it's not like I have some personal stake in it, but Democrats trying to get people to a fun event that's not, we're going to harass you about politics. And as much as I love a good Biden speech, most people my age aren't exactly chomping at the bit to go sit for a Biden speech. I get that. And so maybe you reach them through less overt means. Maybe you just have some fun and you mention the importance of voting. Love it. But that's bad because that event is not solving high housing costs. Kaylee. It's sort of that thing of when you're so in your bubble that you just become weird. Like, what? Stop it. You're coming out against dance parties and sex. Now you're just weird. No one aligns with that. And this is actually seemingly a good idea. But why are they just so frantically trying to make every story about Biden negative? Well, it's because really on the facts, even though they've been effective at the dishonesty, but on the facts, they have nothing. The economy has outpaced our competitors our counterparts, I should say. If we as a country decided to do this, we could have this incredible patriotism about how we were in this crisis. We were in this disaster of a situation. We had a man overseeing a crisis, mishandling these conditions in a way that was so horrific. And then, as a country, because we're so strong, because we're the United States of freaking America, we came back stronger than any other country on the planet from that crisis that the whole world was dealing with. Still pain, still problems, prices still higher than we want them, of course. But we got out of it more effectively than was expected and than our counterparts. But instead of uniting around that and working to further those steps in the right direction, it's Fox News who's trying to convince people we're a nation in decline, as Trump says. We're an S-hole country, as Don Jr. says. There's nothing great to them about the country. To make it great again, we have to go backwards instead of going forward into a better tomorrow, not to sound too cringy. Then on crime's just plummeting so fast that the great thinkers of our time don't know what to do with this information. It's just stunning. And we saw that in 2023. 2024, it's continuing, as we talked about the specifics of in a past segment. Even on their favorite issue, the border, on policy, it's Republicans obstructing solutions to the border. So again, on the facts, they have nothing. And now their presumptive nominee is a convicted felon. So I guess when everything has failed in your political endeavor, and you're on the wrong side of every single issue, maybe it is time for you to come out against big sex. Let me know what you thought of all that in the comments. You can get access to the daily bonus show by clicking that join button below.